When you've got a player in bad form in Football Manager, how do you turn it around? The answer is just have a little chat with them. But what actually works? Do you put your arm around the player? Do you criticize them? Do you threaten? I've tested it out, and we've got some interesting results here with what looks like some fun mechanics. So I have a test league. See all my previous videos. I have all players with standardized tactics, standardized stats, and all have balanced personalities, which might be important for this. I've let the teams play. I've simmed halfway through a season to find badly performing players. Take, for instance, this striker with a 6.4 average over the last 5 games. As the manager of that team, I've then picked a specific instruction to give to that player to try and boost their performance. I've then measured how their form changes over the next 5 games to see if this chat has had any impact. And I have run these tests many times to get good stats to make sure that we're seeing some statistical differences between the groups. So what works? If I do nothing, no instructions, the player's form tends to return to about a 6.8 average. He's an average striker in an average team, for instance. He scores some goals, he does all right. And that just tends to return, which I think is an important point. He might just return to his performance in time, he's just going through a bad patch. Now, if we have a chat with them and we mention that their form has been declining and they need to pick it up, this tended to be successful and actually gets a bump in player performance about half of the time. And you can see here from the graph, on average, it's over a 7. So it looks pretty successful, right? Next up, insisting and criticizing players. In the tests I've run, these were not very successful and returned lower averages than doing nothing at all to the player. They weren't very beneficial, player didn't really like it a lot, didn't perform very well. But there's also getting angry and threatening them. And this returned on average about a 6.9, but there's more to this than meets the eye. This was actually only successful about 20% of the time, but when it was successful, these players went on mad runs of form, scoring loads of goals, getting loads of assists, just playing really well and having really high ratings. So this is a very high risk, high reward option, which is what it appears from the test that I've run. Do you want to play it safe, or are you feeling lucky? And if you need more ways to improve your team's performance, check this video out. Enjoy your Football Manager, guys. I'll see you soon.